Hello, Kylie Bertucci, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia with some demonstrator training today. And I am looking forward to this topic. Say no to guilt. Yes, it was a topic that Louise Sharp raised with me last week, and I instantly resonated with it. I think being a woman, and of course there are some men out there that feel the same. Sorry, I'll just adjust this while people jump on. Ooh, here's some live ones. Hello, people. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for coming. My little class went so well this morning. I did my live Facebook class. Hey, Narelle, good to see you again. And it went excellent. I was really happy with that little baby box. Hi, Tina. Good to see you again. Thanks for jumping in. I've taken some photos already. Have a look in the background. I'll show you my little photo box. Can you see it? It's that one there. And it literally is a box. So just a plain cardboard box. And I've just cut out the edges. So 3 sides. And then just put tissue paper. And that is how I take my photos. FYI, little tip for you. But the key thing is the light, getting good light. And you'll probably notice there's quite a bit of light in this room. I feel like I'm getting basked in light. So yeah, so I take the pictures so that they're facing that natural light. And I just use the tissue paper to diffuse it so that there's no shadows or as limited as there can be. Hey, Jessie, good to see you. So I think a big thing for Stampin' Up, or ones that are wanting to build Stampin' Up businesses, and I went through this myself when I decided to really go for it, is dealing with guilt, particularly with family and the amount of time that we decide to use to build up our business. Hey, good to see you. So I think this can be a big challenge because it is really a big juggling act all the time. And at times our family are going to suffer. Maybe the house chores are going to suffer. You know, if you have children, your children might miss out on a bit of mum time. But I think what's really interesting is, as a woman, we tend to feel guilty at least once a day. And there's specific research that have been done by universities on this, and it was quite interesting doing a little bit of reading about it during the week. How researchers and psychologists have realised that it's particularly prone to women because we're a lot more emotional, we're in touch with how other people perceive us or how other people feel. And so then we tend to take on this guilt because we feel bad or we feel that we're not doing enough. Today I was talking to Robin Carden, the pink stamper, about this exact topic because I was saying to her that I was talking about it today. And she said the most brilliant quote, and she said she's used it on her team a number of times, where she said that we take our weaknesses and we compare it to other people's strengths. And it's so true, isn't it? It's like, where did we get this idea that we need to compare ourselves with other people instead of being our own individual person? And I understand what it feels like when people say, be unique, be who you are. And then you're like, well, who am I in the Stampin' Up world? You know, what is unique to me? I'm not unique. My style is very similar to this person, or my business skills I learnt from this person. I was exactly the same. Exactly the same. I used to look at Mary Fish and follow how she did her business plan online and think that was really clever. That's a really good idea. I'm going to try that. But I think as you try new things and you try taking on all these different ideas, it's when you start moving and collecting all that information and using it that it starts to become your own. And you start putting your own flair on things, because at the end of the day, there's a basic model to any particular sales or multi-level program. It's to get the contacts, get the leads, get the customers, and then hopefully convert them into new team leaders. and or team members, I should say, and eventually then become leaders. But that process is the same no matter what multi-level marketing company you're with. But what makes it unique is your flair, or your things that you love or that you feel passionate about, or things that resonate with you. Hey Sarah, good to see you. That makes it unique. And it wasn't until I started creating more regularly and had to come up with my own designs, and you get quicker at the designs the more that you're doing them. And it wasn't until I started doing that, hey Michelle, hey Missy, that then I realized what my creative design is. And I'm happy to say it's bold geometric, you know, and obviously I'm not going to stick to that all the time. Like, I've done some pretty soft baby cards, but it still has that bold colors to it. Like, I did one that was using the soft colors, but the baby boy box that I did is very bold black and Bermuda, and I love those strong colors. But it takes time to sort of work out, you know, what colors you like, what style you like. And once you find that little niche, like there was a demonstrator that I was talking to that was very, very good with sponging. And she said, I just don't want to do too much sponging because I don't want to be a one-trick pony. And I said, but your sponging is just so beautiful. Like, the way that you use those daubers is like amazing. I just think whenever you do a project with sponging, it's just amazing because it's what, you know, obviously she's good at and what she loves. And I said, instead of viewing it as a bad thing or you not being inventive enough, make it your thing. Like, you look at Michelle Zindorf and her in the brayer, holy moly, she's just incredible at the brayer, and the way that she uses that tool. So, and she's moved on to different styles now with her sponging and that sort of thing, but you can see her designs and you're just like, that's so her. So just finding your own little niche, and that only comes through time. But I think in regards to guilt, it's a really interesting thing because there's different areas that it comes up in. So it could be comparing yourself to others, that we have guilt. And with comparing ourselves to others is such a detrimental thing to do because we're all so different. We all have different abilities. We all have different talents. And we all have different weaknesses. But the interesting thing with online is you don't tend to see the weaknesses of people. You can see them being successful. You see them, you know, continually recruiting or getting awards or getting the trips. And you're like, oh my goodness, they just have it made. But there's struggles behind every single demonstrator. There is struggles of balance. There's struggles with family. There's struggles, like for me at the moment, it's weight. You know, weight is a big thing at the moment, and I've really got to work on getting my health back on track. So there's so many, and even, you know, spirituality for me is a big thing, and making sure that that's put in its right place. So there's different things that we're all working on at different times. And there's, so obviously if we're not working on like one thing, that thing over here is not going too well, then we feel the guilt. We're like, I'm not good enough. I'm not like this person. And what can also tend to happen is because someone can make us feel guilt or insecurity or fear. And when someone makes us feel that way, what we can tend to do as women, and it's a terrible thing that we do, but it's a protection thing, fight or flight. We either decide, how do I want to handle this? And so we can actually tend to block people out. That instead of seeing them as someone who can help us become stronger and go, I really want to learn from that person, what can I take from them? We end up attacking that person, or you know, saying terrible things about that person, or trying to find faults in that person, because in some way that will make us feel better in our insecurity. And it's such a dangerous path to go down. And, you know, of course, it's just a protection thing. We're trying to protect ourselves from that fear or from the way that that person makes us feel. But it blocks out so many opportunities if we view our Stampin' Up friends in this way, like breaking down the barriers and realizing, you know what, everyone has their thing. Some people are going to do some things better than others, and that's okay. I'm going to cheer them on. You go, well done. Even if they're not in your team, support people rather than trying to bring them down. And it takes a lot of effort to do that. And it sometimes there's this, you know, ugly green monster in us that's like, oh, I really want what they have and I don't have it and I don't like it and I don't like this feeling. But you've got to push that aside, our feelings in that regard and our insecurities, and go, you know what? There is room for everyone. There is room for all of us to grow and blossom and do well and succeed. That we don't have to view each other as the competition, that we don't have to feel this insecurity that we feel as women in our daily life in all areas, whether it's weight, whether it's family, whether it's competition with other demonstrators, whether it's something that we see on the internet. That if we're able to see where we feel those feelings, that insecurity or that guilt, and we work on it, and we give ourselves permission to do what we need to do to get the job done, it's amazing how we will feel better as a person. There's a really interesting study that was done by the University of Pennsylvania where they said that if you give yourself permission to do some sort of work, so if you say to your family, Mum is working from 9 till 12, and that is my job, and even if friends come over and you're like, no, sorry, I've got work till 12 today, because you have set that in stone and you have told yourself that is your work time, you have made that time, it said in the study that you will have less guilt or no guilt at all. And that's a really interesting factor, because what we tend to do is we say, and it's happened to me, absolutely, you know, I have friends come over and I'm feeling like, holy moly, I'm freaking out, I've got so much work to do, and now my friends are here, and so one, I can't enjoy my friends because I'm stressing out, and two, I'm like, I don't know what to do or what to say that will help them understand that I'm working. But if we're strong in what we are doing, if we know what we are doing, and we say, look, I'm working at the moment, but we can have a coffee, but I really have to get back to work by this time. And if we let them know and we communicate, we no longer feel guilty. We've still had the coffee with them. We've still enjoyed time with them. They're going to think, wow, that's really nice of Kylie to go outside of her work time and have coffee with us. But it's all about you creating the boundaries and you creating what you are happy to do, and realizing that you're never going to have the exact balance. Jennifer Frost, yes, great tip. I'm doing that a lot with different areas of my life too. Scheduling cleaning, yes, cleaning blocks on certain days, work on others, and rest is dedicated family time. Yeah, it helps keeps things. Can I see the rest? Oh, I can't see the rest of the comment. But anyway, hopefully I can see it on my computer later. But it does, totally keeps things in its place. Yeah, 100% Jennifer. And I think that we become a lot more focused. We don't feel bad because, you know what, we've scheduled what we need to do at a certain time. And it's not always going to work out perfectly. But you could take time from this because I missed out there. But I think the key area is looking at your diary and looking at your schedule and like actually creating that time, not expecting things to just happen. Family time does not just happen anymore. The world has changed so much. We're so connected, TV, this, that. Even dinners, it becomes challenging to sit down as a family and have a meal together. And that's, you know, one area that Bruno and I work really hard at doing, is sitting down at the table. And it's really nice in our new house. Hello, Alison. Good to see you. We actually find that we're not turning on the television too when we sit down to dinner because it's in the wrong position. And so we're actually getting that time together. And it's so good to have that family time. And it's really important that we do that, because then it gets rid of that guilt when we need to do work time. But I think a really nice thing to do as well, and it helps me with Bruno, is I start my work the minute he leaves. So it's kind of like my work time. And of course it goes into the evening sometimes, but I've really got to work hard at communicating what is happening. So if I can say to him, look, probably Monday night, it's going to be a busy night for me because I can go all the way through and work into the evening and get a lot done. And so I'll just be upfront with him and say, do you mind getting dinner organised? Because I'm going to have a busy night tonight. But I'll stop, have the meal. And it's just nice because we're working as a team and we're communicating. We can let go of that guilt as well. And we can say, well, for me, I can let go of that guilt and you know, not be in this, oh my goodness, I'm not spending enough time with Bruno. But I do really need to keep making sure that that happens. And you know, those that have children, it's really challenging because you could basically spend all day every day. But the best thing that you can do is, you know, with your work is balance what's going to work for them and work for you. Can you work it around when they're at school? Can you work it around when they're at kindergarten? Or can you include them in your work so that it might take longer to get your work done, but they're going to feel connected with you and they're going to feel like they're helping mum, and it's going to be this really nice thing. And then when dad comes home, you can say, look, can I just have an hour? This is what I want to get done. This is my task list, and this is why I want to do it. And by communicating what needs to be done, giving plenty of warning. So maybe even the day before, just say, look, when you come home, are you able to take the kids to the park, or can you do this? And just be really sure on what you're doing and what you want to get done, rather than stress, you know, blow up your brain. Allison and I are probably, we understand the situation because we've got so many deadlines happening at the moment that it's like freaking out. Plus Allison's got artisan. So it's all a juggling act, but no worries, Kim. Good to see you can catch up on the recording as well. It's all a juggling act, but the key area is remembering what the bigger picture is. And ultimately, we're doing this because of our families. We're doing this because we want to maybe earn some more money. We're doing this because we want a stay-at-home job with flexibility. But if we don't keep to those core reasons, whatever our core reason is, if we forget what that reason is, we can get lost. You can come into your craft area and waste a whole lot of time. And of course, then you're going to feel guilt. Allison, I've got several different calendars to schedule different commitments. Oh my God. I honestly, yeah, I feel for you right now, because I was thinking, oh, I've got a few things, but I know Allison's got more. But it's great with Facebook. I love Facebook calendars. I just try and put as many events in there as I possibly can, just to remind me, because it gives me alerts when I'm on Facebook. So yeah, so just schedule time for things. I think even the sad thing that can eventually happen, and I've noticed it with me as well, is that we almost feel guilty when we're having time off, which I think that's a really sad thing when we get to that point. Yeah, it sure does get done. I absolutely agree with that, Alison. Even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, it gets done. So, yeah, so I think it'd be a really bad place to get to when we can't even enjoy our leisure time because we're feeling bad that we're not doing enough for our team, or not doing enough for Stampin' Up or our customers. Like, there's a lot of demands, and there's a lot of pushing and pulling from demands around. And so it's almost like we can't, 2 a.m. I'm in the zone. Yeah, I get that one. It's like I'm on, I'm connected. It's 2 a.m. But yeah, so it's a constant reminder that you are a human, that we have limitations, and it's okay to say to your team, like the other night, I completely missed a blog hop. I was so bad. But I just asked them, I said, hey guys, do you think that you could just check your own link and I've deleted the ones that are wrong. And if you're not there, can you just put yourself back in? Thanks, because this is what I'm doing right now. And I had a picture of Bruno and I in a swimming pool. It's like, we're swimming. I completely forgot about the blog hop. And you know what? The team stepped up. Everyone added their link in that needed to add their link in. And it taught me that, you know, maybe I baby them a little bit too much. You know, maybe I'm creating a bit more work for me than I should. You know, it should be the way it runs every time. It's like, you know what? If it's wrong, can you delete it? Remove yourself and fix it, please, instead of me doing it. And it actually felt really good because I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel bad for it. You know, that could be a bad thing that I didn't feel bad, but I knew that they would fix it. I knew that they would get onto it. And I thought, hey, this is actually a really good thing. You know, I'm enjoying the company that I have, and I really just want to be on my phone for a couple of minutes, and then I want to go swimming. And it was perfect. Whereas had I not have been swimming, had we have not gone out, you know, I probably would have spent an hour and a half fixing the links and doing it all for them. And then what do my team learn from that? You know, it doesn't help them. Thanks, Alison. Ooh, potential recruit. Exciting. All the best. So, yes, I think we can be a bit hard on ourselves, and we can be a bit hard on others too. So constantly think about what negative thoughts are going through your mind, particularly when the ugly little jealous monster comes up to play, why we feel that way, how we can stop that from happening. And I actually find for me, like, not spending too much time trawling through the internet does help. Not comparing. It's kind of like, you know what, I just need to get my work done, and I really don't have time to see what other people are doing. And by not having that time, you're not comparing yourself, you're not, so know your weakness. And I know there was actually a top demonstrator, I'm sure she won't mind me saying it because she was very open with my team about it, but Janet Wakeland said that she suffers from a lot of insecurity. And you think, holy moly, she's like in the top 10 globally. What was she in the world? Number 5 or something? I've got the list here. One moment. Let us see what Janet Wakeland was. Oh, number 4. I keep putting people one below. Anyway, number 4 in the world. And she has insecurity issues. And, you know, and obviously I'm the same. You know, I have insecurity issues, but I do things that I don't even realize I'm doing to prevent that. And it could be by not looking at what other people are doing on their blogs, and if anything, just going through Pinterest, you know, sharing, and get on with your work and not getting too hung up about things. Oh, that's very nice, Narelle. Pleasure. If it helps you, I'm happy. And I love this training aspect. Like, this is something very different. I don't think there's many demonstrators that are doing like weekly videos. I think Lisa Pretto used to do sort of, you know, wine time videos or something like that. But I really love connecting with demonstrators. I know how difficult it is when you're starting out, and how it can get very discouraging. But if we as a community can build Stamping Up, then that means I have a job. So it's kind of selfish too, but it means that the company does well. If we all do well, the company does well, and then I keep the best job I've ever had in my life. And there's plenty for all of us. I never look at it as, and it, you know, it takes a little while to feel like this, but I have such a great relationship with my customers that if I was to lose a customer to another demonstrator, I would never ever say that a demonstrator stole my customer. It's not something that would come out of my mouth. If anything, it would be, what did I not do enough of to keep that customer? What have I not done for that customer to leave me? And I think that we're going to lose some, we're going to gain some, that some people come and go, and it could be personality, it could be location, it could be a whole host of different things. But don't ever think that, and it's a big thing at the moment that's coming up with giving gifts or giving, you know, I do a handmade card every month, And, you know, from the outside looking in, you can go, oh my goodness, it's because they're giving a card every month, or it's because they're giving away big gifts every month that those demonstrators keep their customers. You know what? Customers will not stay for just those things. You need to be good at customer service. You need to be able to answer their questions. You need to be able to send product quickly, resolve any issues that come up, and have a personal relationship with these customers as well. Know what's happening in their lives. You know, do they have a relative with cancer? Could you send a card? Like, there's so many different things that happen behind the scenes that what you see at the front is actually not really anything to do with keeping customers. And the interesting thing is you could offer the world to a customer, and there could be some customers that go, oh, that's a good deal, I'm going to take that. And then they just run with it and then go, and they won't return. And that's not going to build loyal customers either. So on both sides of the coin, you have to make sure that you have a lot deeper relationship with your customers than just, you know, here's some free gifts and a card each month. It has to be more than that. And that takes time and effort and phone calls and emails and, you know, talking to them. And all of that is behind the scenes that you don't see. So never think that a demonstrator has stolen your customer. It just means your customer is looking for something that you haven't given them. Find out what it is. You know, if I find out that a recruit has gone to someone else, ask them. Say, look, you know, we were chatting about you joining and I noticed you went with someone else. I'm totally fine with that. And you may not be. You might be really cut. But you can say, look, I just want to learn what it is that, you know, I could improve on as someone who's hoping to recruit in the future. Keep a good relationship with people. Don't ever think that because someone else has gone somewhere else that now they're the enemy. You know, if a team member drops, oh, they're the enemy now. Always try and keep a good relationship with them. The only time that I think I ever get to a point where I can't tolerate certain behavior is if I feel threatened or bullied. And I don't tolerate that behavior. And I'm happy to ask a team member to leave my group if I feel that they're threatening or bullying me or someone else in the group. I will not tolerate that. But in any other situation where it comes to just a personal choice or a decision that someone's made, then they're entitled to that decision. I know for me, I shop at Woolies, I shop at Coles, we have different shopping centres, I go to Aldi, and it doesn't mean that I hate Coles, it doesn't mean I like Woolies more. It's just that, you know, maybe it's location or just that day it was just convenient or there was a special. Doesn't mean I have any issues with Coles. I don't want to stab Coles. So don't take it personally. Don't think that, you know, they don't like you as a person or that you're lacking in anything. And again, you know, the guilt that comes up and the insecurity and the fear, and you know, just let go of all of that. If you don't think that you know, it's anything to do with you, or if anything, go, okay, well, maybe there's something I can improve on. But it doesn't mean you have to feel insecure about that, because every single one of us are trying to learn and develop and grow. And if everything went perfectly fine and perfect, then we wouldn't learn and we wouldn't grow. So sometimes the tough times is what actually makes us a better person and teaches us more than the easy situations that come up. So I think, yeah, guilt is a very interesting thing for women. We're constantly fighting, and when we're doing recreation, then we're thinking about work, and you know, that's just owning your own business is like that. But just try as much as we can, and I'm telling myself this is why I'm saying we, to just be in the moment when we're in the moment. So if we're with friends, be with friends. Try not to just block out work. Try not to open that email. Like Bruno, sometimes he'll go to open my emails. I'm like, don't touch it. Something will come through that I've got to action, and I don't want my brain to have to go there and work out what I need to get done. And be very clear about your timeline. I've said to my team, I'm available Monday to Wednesday. They are my work days. Thursday, Friday is my voluntary days, and the weekend is my weekend. And you know what? They're good with that. They're really great. You know, they know that if I don't reply to them on Thursday or Friday, it's because Kylie's doing her voluntary work, and that's really important to me. And I don't have to feel guilty about that. That's my time. We all need time at certain periods in our life and our week, and we're entitled as team leaders and as business people to say when our time is precious to us. If we don't set the boundaries, then they won't know the boundaries and they won't understand, and they'll just message whenever and expect you to reply instantly if that's how you train your team. So, you know, don't feel guilty that you have specific guidelines. If you want to say 9 till 5, that's when I'm free. After that, I don't answer my emails, and I'm not going on my emails, and I'm not going on Facebook, then good on you. Own it. Do not feel guilty about that whatsoever. But if you're wishy-washy about your boundaries, you will feel guilt because you have no guidelines. So get the guidelines in place. Be firm and determined. Work out your why. Why do you want those guidelines? What are they for? And stick to them. And you'll feel a whole lot better. I know when I did that, I felt so much better. Because when questions were coming, it was like an inconvenience to me. And I'd be getting upset. And it's like, why am I getting upset? My team doesn't even understand what my life is. They don't understand what I'm doing on Thursday and Friday. They don't understand that it's like, I've got to tell them. I've got to communicate that. And the minute I did, they went, oh, yeah, sure, no problem, Kylie, yeah. And even on the group, some of my leaders will jump in. Oh, Kylie's, you know, she's doing her voluntary work Thursday, Friday, so I can answer that. It's the best. So, yeah, that really helps with overcoming guilt. So hopefully that helps you. We will feel guilty at least once a day, but try as much as you can. Naomi said that's the beauty of technology. We can send the question message and know when the person will get back to you when it suits them. Absolutely. And, you know, sometimes on Thursday, Friday, I do get a moment to answer it, but it's not, I don't have to feel pressure. And I don't have to feel that same anxiety I was feeling when I didn't set the guidelines. And every now and then I'll put a reminder because, you know, there might be new ones in the team that don't know. So I'll put a reminder, hey guys, just remember Monday to Wednesday is my day. And it's great. It works for everyone then. It's much better. So hopefully this helps you to overcome those feelings of guilt. If you want to put some messages as to situations that have come up that you think have made you feel these feelings, how you overcame them, or maybe you have a question like, Kylie, how would you overcome this feeling with family or with friends, and we'll come up with some little ideas of what you might be able to do. I really like the idea when friends come over, and I'm yet to try it. I haven't actually tried it, but I've at least formulated when they come, I know what to say. And just, when friends come over when I'm working, I'll just be like, look, absolutely come, have a coffee. I need a coffee, but I really need to get back to work in 20 minutes. You set the time, whatever you're willing to give. And ask them. I know I'm really bad at sticking to it. So ask them, say, send me back to work at 2:30, okay? Because I'm really bad and I'll end up talking all afternoon and then I'll end up working till 2 a.m. tonight. And if they understand that, it's going to help them to help you. So then you're getting support even from your friends. They'll be able to join in then. So thank you all very much for watching. This week we've got on my Aim for Alaska support training program, we have the incredible Michelle Last. And she's going to be talking to us about her top tips. Now, Michelle Last, in case you didn't know, she's number 3 globally in the world, number 1 in the UK, and she'll be talking to us. Now, the Aim for Alaska group is only $25 Australian. The reason why I charge for the group, because some have asked this question, is so that I can pay these top demonstrators to talk for us and give it as an option. Because their time is valuable. I know for me, my time is of great importance, and I want to show that I appreciate their time. So in order to get these top demonstrators to speak to us, I need to be able to pay them and pay myself for my time. And I don't feel guilty about that because it's a lot of time that I put into it. So it just helps all of us get what we need, get the support we need. And also too, I find that by paying, like it's the same with the gym, by paying money, we invest. If we invest, we tend to use that knowledge or that information more than if it was free. We appreciate it more. So for what you get, $25 a month, Sarah knows. Who else is here that's on the group? Kim. So yeah, for what you get, it's, yeah, amazing group to be able to have Patty Bennett speaking to us. I'm going to be doing a video next month as well with my top tips. We had Becky Roberts, who was just amazing and so inspiring. We've had Wendy Cranford, and all of those videos are available if you jump on. So if you're looking at doing the subscription, I'll put the link up, and if you have any questions you can ask. But it's perfect, even though it's called Aim for Alaska, it's perfect for any business, like anyone who's looking at starting or already humming along, wherever you're at in your Stampin' Up business. Even if you think Alaska is completely out of the picture, it will help you to get some really great skills and advice and learn from the best, learn from the top. So thank you all very much. Any questions, please ask, and I'd love to hear from you as to how you think this talk on guilt, say no to guilt, no more guilt, set the boundaries, how is it going to help you? Thanks everyone, have a lovely day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.